Chapter 12. Case 1. Everything was created for me. Near-death experiencer Jeff Olson excerpted from I Knew Their Hearts, the amazing true story of a journey beyond the veil to learn the silent language of the heart. I saw purpose in every event of my entire life. I saw how every circumstance had been divinely provided for my learning and development. I had the realization that I had actually taken part in creating every experience of my life. I knew I had come to this earth for only one reason, which was to learn, and that everything that had ever happened to me had been a loving step in that process of my progression. Every person, every circumstance, and every incident was custom created for me. It was as if the entire universe existed for my higher good and development. I felt so loved, so cherished, and so honored. I realized that not only was I embraced by deity, but also that I myself was divine, and that we all are. I knew that there are no accidents in this life. That everything happens for a reason. Yet we always get to choose how we will experience what happens to us here. Everything suddenly made sense. Everything had divine order. Case 2. God has a plan for each of us. Near-death experiencer Dr. Marie Neal, MD. Excerpted from 7 Lessons from Heaven, how dying taught me to live a joy-filled life. If my journey from the bottom of a river to the heights of heaven revealed anything to me, it is that God is not only real and present in our world, but that He knows each one of us by name, loves each one of us as though we were the only person on earth, and has a plan for each of us that is more significant and rewarding than anything we can dare to imagine on our own. Case 3. Anything is possible. Near-death experiencer Anita Murjani. The amount of love I felt was overwhelming, and from this perspective, I knew how powerful I am, and saw the amazing possibilities we as humans are capable of achieving during a physical life. I found out that my purpose now would be to live heaven on earth, using this new understanding, and also to share this knowledge with other people. However, I had the choice of whether to come back into life, or go towards death. I was made to understand that it was not my time, but I always had the choice, and if I chose death, I would not be experiencing a lot of the gifts that the rest of my life still held in store. One of the things I wanted to know was that if I chose life, would I have to come back to this sick body, because my body was very, very sick and the organs had stopped functioning. I was then made to understand that if I chose life, my body would heal very quickly. I would see a difference in not months or weeks, but days. I was shown how illnesses start on an energetic level before they become physical. If I chose to go into life, the cancer would be gone from my energy, and my physical body would catch up very quickly. I then understood that when people have medical treatments for illnesses, it rids the illness only from their body but not from their energy, so the illness returns. I realized if I went back, it would be with a very healthy energy. Then the physical body would catch up to the energetic conditions very quickly and permanently. I was given the understanding that this applies to anything, not only illnesses, physical conditions, psychological conditions, etc. I was shown that everything going on in our lives was dependent on this energy around us, created by us. Nothing was solid, we created our surroundings, our conditions, etc. Depending where this energy was at. The clarity I received around how we get what we do was phenomenal. It's all about where we are energetically. I was made to feel that I was going to see proof of this firsthand if I returned back to my body. I was made to understand that, as tests had been taken for my organ functions and the results were not out yet, that if I chose life, the results would show that my organs were functioning normally. If I chose death, the results would show organ failure is the cause of death, due to cancer. I was able to change the outcome of the tests by my choice. I made my choice, and as I started to wake up in a very confused state, as I could not at that time tell which side of the veil I was on, the doctors came rushing into the room with big smiles on their faces, saying to my family, "Good news, we got the results and her organs are functioning, we can't believe it." Her body really did seem like it had shut down. After that, I began to recover rapidly. The doctors had been waiting for me to become stable before doing a lymph node biopsy to track the type of cancer cells, and they could not even find a lymph node big enough to suggest cancer. Upon entering the hospital, my body was filled with swollen lymph nodes. They did a bone marrow biopsy, again to find the cancer activity so they could adjust the chemotherapy according to the disease, and there wasn't any in the bone marrow. The doctors were very confused, but put it down to me suddenly responding to the chemo. Because they themselves were unable to understand what was going on, they made me undergo test after test, all of which I passed with flying colors, and clearing every test empowered me even more. I had a full body scan, and because they could not find anything, they made the radiologist repeat it again. Because of my experience, I am now sharing with everyone I know that miracles are possible in your life every day. After what I have seen, I realize that absolutely anything is possible, and that we did not come here to suffer. Life is supposed to be great, and we are very, very loved. The way I look at life has changed dramatically, and I am so glad to have been given a second chance to experience heaven on earth. Case 4. 3 Discoveries IANDS Experiencer number 02 I asked a question. All I remember are the answers. A voice boomed so loudly that it could make the universe explode. It said, everything is one. There is no past. There is no future. There is only now. And not only that, but every possible outcome, for every possible situation, is occurring at the same time. The last statement I couldn't quite understand. I was shown an example of being at an intersection behind the wheel of a car and going straight, turning right, turning left, hitting the building on the corner, hitting a light post, going straight up into the air, burrowing into the asphalt, all at the same time. Every possibility was occurring at the same instant whether I did it or not. Then I heard, the largest of the large and the smallest of the small are the same. I became a wave, a spiral, or a tube of sorts that contracted and expanded in and out, with the in being microscopic and the out being infinitely large. I understood to the depths of my being that everything was one and that the smallest atom is the same as the universe. I was turned inside out and became everything, and everything was as tiny as the smallest particle and as huge as the universe. It was all the same, and I was it and it was me. I was just there, floating in this pure ecstasy, knowing to the depths of my being everything I had just heard and witnessed. Suddenly, I was being downloaded with information about every question I had ever had. I have always been interested in science, physics, biology, human relations, spirituality, religion, etc. In one instant, I understood all there was to know. I particularly remember understanding all about how electricity works, then physics, then human relationships. I felt pure joy, and a feeling of simplicity. Then an understanding that it's all love. Everything is love. Everything is one. Everything is now. Soulmate, this is a part of Zindagi Ki Roshni consultancy. It has been established for those who have lost someone and for those who are very sad in their life. About 100 PDF books and 20 short audio books of this topic will be sent to those who join it. This data will be sent to their email or WhatsApp. If you want to join this organization, then please send WhatsApp message to this number.